Now, whatever you say at a moment like this, I think we would like to, in whatever language you're speaking, I would wholeheartedly welcome you to the ICPIC meeting here in Geneva, our first meeting, and there went a lot of sweat into it. I went a lot of sweat into it, and you feel it now too. That's a good thing. And the most important part is that you get abstracts, that you actually have some participants, colleagues, friends who are willing to send you your abstract. And you can see this is a shot from the website of ICPIC with the abstracts online where you can achieve them. We had a total of nearly 600 abstracts for a first-time meeting. That's kind of amazing. 90 abstracts has been accepted as oral presentations. 419 has been accepted as posters, so there are lots of posters for you to see. To have it a little bit more, we added a few from a healthcare social infection forum we're just coming from in France, so there are 35 extra posters, and I will come back to that. And to have a little bit more for all our visitors from Africa, they included, it's not including that, the overview, their lectures. Unfortunately, as usual, you do have to reject a few, so that is, I think, a relatively low rejection rate. You can do that without reviewers, and I will not go through all the names because we don't need to go that people will recognize. Without you guys, we wouldn't have been able to go through all the abstracts, and I should point out that Didier read every single abstract that was submitted. I only read 70%, so there's the Swiss work more. We know that already. Then there is, of course, the local organizing team. And I would like to point out especially Fabrizio and Rosemary for all the work, but I know that Didier, he really made his whole team work quite a bit of that. I don't think they did anything else, and I apologize for the university hospital that they probably didn't do any work else than that. In the program, Jeremy Willie is missing, so I'm mentioning here again, but he was a late addition. Registration, that's what it's all about. And usually if you come to 1,101, most people talk about we are close to 1,200. When I asked Lara just an hour ago, it was 1,112 participants registered from 85 countries. I believe that's pretty unique. And just to give you a view of the top countries, obviously there's a huge contingent here from Switzerland, but also from the UK, Germany, US, France, Netherlands, and Belgium. We Dutch, we go anywhere where we get free drinks. So there is, this is the usual kind of crowd which you would kind of expect at the meeting. So this column, I think, is much nicer because 43% means that it's more than 45 people from Brazil, from 30 from Australia, from the Russian Federation, Japan, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, China, India, and a little bit here fell off the slide, unfortunately, nearly more than 50 persons from Africa. So I think that we are extremely glad to see this kind of people coming to our meeting. Then again, you have to thank the organizing committee because you have that too. And I would like to point out Benedetta Allegranzi, and I apologize for the picture, but I gave you 3 days' time to send me a nicer one. So, just to make sure that you don't think I'll pick them. And Stefan complied with that reply, thank you very much. Without especially Stefan's help in the end, I think we wouldn't have been where we are today, without the work of all the other people here on the slide too. So my special gratitude to all these. Then I want to point out a few things that are different than in the meetings you might have been before. One, it's Semmelweis's birthday soon, and we will celebrate that on a special session, which will not be highly scientific, but I believe highly entertaining, and maybe that's the one to put into your agenda. There's another new thing, new for an infection control congress, not new to the University of Geneva, and that is the Innovative Academy. And if you would have seen the prizes from before and the prize money, I assume more of you would have sent in abstracts in that category, but you're too late to that. You can do so in 2013. But certainly this is something new, this is something nice for infection control, and another one to see. Then there is the Meet the Expert sessions. And I know that they're early on. They're at 8 o'clock in the morning. But this is the kind of, if you get up early, you get this kind of picture from Geneva. So while you walk over here, you can enjoy that kind of scenery and then be here at 8. I can really say, if you look at the list of experts that are willing to lecture that early in the morning, they are world-class, and I would really recommend to be at the Meet the Expert session. They are absolutely brilliant. Then I already mentioned special posters. There's a special poster presentation by Jean Calais and John McGowan, and they will go over the posters. We had a group of experts that was just meeting in France, produced. For the first time, you find experts who are 20 and 30 years in the field and haven't done a poster for the last 25 of them. You will see them at a poster, so that's unique too. And I have to thank the team from MCI, Lara, Chantal, Catherine, Coralie, and Gael, and Boris, who fell off the slide here, sorry. But this is Boris, if you might have thought so. But without their constant work and help, we wouldn't have been able to pull off, and without their trust that this would actually become a working meeting. So thanks to them too. There's one other group, or two actually, to thank, and one is the sponsors. You cannot enter a new meeting like this when you are not backed up by your sponsors. So you see there's a huge amount of them here. I especially have to say that our platinum, gold, and silver sponsors, and among them bioMérieux, I have to mention them extra, because without their early support, I'm not quite sure that we would have done this. So we were ensured of some major sponsorship to start this endeavor. So I'd like to thank them all. I'd like to another sponsor, also not the usual, and that's the University of Geneva. If a university has 55,000 Swiss francs to give to solidarity grants to enable African participants to be at this meeting, I think it's worthwhile to be mentioned at a point like this. So thank you very much for that. I do apologize to two of our sponsors, because also the sponsors did travel grants, and you might see that in the program. Unfortunately, the logo von Diversity and Gojo fell somehow through the printing mechanism, so I apologize for that, but they are the others, the missing sponsors on that page in the book. We also got moral support, and if you do something like that, next to having like a lot of calls and a lot of emails, you need moral support. And we are supported by the Society for Healthcare Epidemiology of America, by ICPIC, HRS, IFIC, ECDC, and CDC. This is amazing. All these people, lots of them having their own meetings, still supporting us, still going strong along. So thank you very much for all of them. And there are participants from the societies and the institutions are here at this meeting. So thanks a lot. A not so nice part. You didn't even start yet, but the first of you already missed some electronic equipment, wallets, and bags, that can be nice sometimes, but I do have to warn you that there, unfortunately, pickpockets love tourists, and they obviously love IPEC participants too. So already the first one were really successful. You will see the slides everywhere. So you know you're in the safe part of Switzerland. They won't kill you for it, but they might still take away your stuff. So be aware of the pickpockets. I'm sorry that I have to say that, but it was a kind of need. Last but not least, the last group, and then I'm getting out of here, is to thank a group, and that is you. I mean, without your trust that we wouldn't completely mess up this meeting and do something right at least, we wouldn't have been able to do this. So we thank you very much for trusting us that this will be an interesting meeting, and I think if you see the speakers, they are really trustworthy and extremely good. There's another thing. Yes, we let you know already next time. Didier mentioned it already. We will be in a fully climated exposition center in Geneva on the 25th to the 28th of June 2013. So I hope to see many of you, or even more, who are not present back there. And then I have a tiny little thing, just as a reminder, don't throw this antimicrobial disinfection control thing in your bag. Don't throw it away before reading it, because next to doing this meeting, we also decided to start a new journal. Can you acknowledge Virox Technologies for sponsoring the Taylor classes? That's a kind of important one. We have to do Taylor classes here, and it's organized by Paul Weber, and it was sponsored by Virox, so I would like to thank them too, because that's not in the program either. And then with no further ado, I would say we are able to continue. Thank you very much.